Yeah, y'all like that, huh? Make you want to dance, huh?
Get it, mama.
Mama gonna get it. And you will, too. Keep dancing like that, you bring home some kids you can't feed.
That's Tammy Anderson. She's smoking hot. She got 2 sisters, and they can all sing. My name is Sticks.
Sparkle.
Hey, that's your song? You wrote that?
Only if you thought it was good.
You wrote the songs in here? Girl groups are hotter than ever right now. You should be together singing.
Sparkle is the youngest of the 3 sisters, and she's the one that kind of, you know, connives her way in there to get her sisters to form a group. Please, I just want to hear my song, please.
But it's your song. You go out there and sing it.
You're the singer in our family.
Honey, you sing.
We're coming up next to the stage.
Just going out there and look pretty.
But this isn't what we rehearsed.
I know what I'm doing.
Sister and her sisters.
Where in the world did you get those church dresses?
She admires sister very much. She wants to be like her. She loves her. She is her idol, and she wants to be her. So for her, she's like, sister's gonna be the front, and I'll just be in the background.
All over the city. Diana ain't got nothing on you. Sparkle. I need more of the songs, you know, the kind we talked about.
I can do that.
It turns out that Styx and Sparkle have a lot in common. And the first thing that Styx notices about Sparkle, how special she is that she has this gift, but her exterior is very unassuming.
Miss Sparkle, you writing these songs and you can sing? So why aren't you singing them?
My mom used to sing professionally. She tried to break out on her own, and it almost killed her.
And maybe you be just like your mama, never reach your goals. Don't fall short of it because you can't admit that you want it.
There's the story of the family, which is the core, you know, and our mother and the backstory, you know, and I call it Sparkle 2.0 because Mara Brock-Akil wrote such a great script that I think people are going to see things they never saw.
You can't be throwing rocks at my window. My mother has a gun, a big one.
There's an underground club tonight. It's the kind that songwriters don't want to miss.
Emma was a singer back in her days, okay? She's been on the showbiz scene. She's not new to it. Now that her daughters are older, she is raising her daughters in a religious atmosphere.
Yeah, late. And she's up.
Was my life not enough of a cautionary tale for you? I know y'all don't love each other that much.
She was why these 3 girls were as talented as they are, that the youngest one would have this amazing gift.
All I think about is music. Everything I see, hear, feel turns into a song. So I figured...
You figured I was wrong.
That I had a gift.
I see your beauty, and I want to be your man.
Take me on a date on a bus in the rain.
Sis thinks she deserves a bigger and more glamorous life than Detroit can offer.
This is Satin Struthers.
I'm looking for a new act to open up for myself.
Oh, my God.
She has a lot going for her. She has a lot of talent. She uses her sexuality, and she knows that she's very magnetic as a personality, and she has a lot of charisma. But she's not been given the tools in life by her mum, really, to know how to use, to use those assets in the right way.
When you see a train that's gonna get you to where you're trying to go, you can't wait to live. You gotta jump on it.
Sister believes in herself the least of anybody in the movie. And you don't know that for a long time because she's so determined in her way to, find a better life for herself. But at the end of the day, there's a vulnerability there. She's broken in some way.
What happened to your face?
I had none.
He did that to you, didn't he?
I had an accident.
Satin is a comedian in the movie that is very famous. He's got a little wealth, and he has a dark side to him,
You been fighting? No, I got a new cat.
Yeah.
Sparkle is the youngest, but she's in the middle, just trying to keep the peace between everybody, trying to make everybody else happy, and then eventually you see her finally, take hold of things and make herself happy.
How may I help you?
I'm here to see Larry Robinson.
Do you have an appointment?
No.
I'm sorry. You need an appointment.
Okay, I'll wait.
It's funny, I get asked that question a lot. How do you make it there? So I'm trying to answer it a little bit in the movie. And there's a scene where she's got to stand up for herself.
I have 2 minutes. Go.
Well, let me not waste them on why I need you. That's obvious. Let me tell you why you need me.
That's a big setup. I hope you can deliver.
Those were my exact words in a moment in my life that was very life-changing for me. And I wanted to give it as a gift, kind of thing. You give it to your characters.
I'm beautiful, I can sing, and I write hits, sometimes 2 and 3 a day. It's all about, you know, family and what you go through there. It's about discovering who's really there for you, who's really not, choices, what consequences your choices can make. But it's also about finding your voice. When we were doing this, we wanted to pay tribute to the original film. I had no idea that it was such, like, people loved it so much. So we wanted to pay tribute to it, but at the same time, we wanted to do something different and kind of update it a little bit and bring it a whole new sort of twist to the story. So I think people are really, really going to enjoy that.
You can't do a film with Motown music and not be a Motown. I mean, this is where it all happened, and it's amazing to know that every ounce of music in the 60s and everything we listened to, everybody came from here.
Music for African Americans has always been our entryway into what people would call mainstream America. If your history is based here in America, then a story like this you should embrace.
Everybody knows if you clap to blues and you clap to country, you can't clap to rhythm and blues the same way. So all I can say is that it has a certain rhythm and an energy that you can't find anywhere else.
The soundtrack is outrageous. The music in this movie is just killer. I will go out and buy the soundtrack on its own, you know, even though I'm in it and on it. You know, the music's amazing. Some of the producers that we're working with, some of the original artists that have come in to collaborate on it.
But you will see, it's just a matter of time.
I loved the original music. I bought the original soundtrack like once I watched Sparkle, and I was like, okay, let me buy this. I love Aretha Franklin, and I was like really surprised at myself that I didn't know. And then I was like, whoa, my mind was blown, and I love learning about new music. So for me, I was just so excited.
You
don't have the right music, you've lost the whole point of Sparkle. It's about music. I mean real music, not synthesized music, not artificial music, but when people really had to be able to sing. For people who love music, I think they're going to be blown away.
They're such iconic songs, giving him something he can feel, you know, hooked on your love, and then the dance moves people are used to. I mean, these are real cult classics that people love.
I love to sing pop music. I sing pop R&B music, which I love to do, but I love doing R&B gospel stuff as well. And the music in the movie is going to be a different side of me that my fans haven't seen before.
This one's for Sister.
Feels like I'm going down a one-way street in every direction. And I need heaven to show me just a little affection. No.
One Wing, which is a new original song that R. Kelly wrote. They played me the demo, and I said, I get to sing this? Really? Like, you want me to sing this song?
I can't fly with one wing.
And they said, yeah, let's do it. And I went in and I did the song, and it's one of those songs that every time I hear it, I'm just completely moved by it.
The music is like amazing icing on this delicious cake, because the story really works as a, you know, as a drama, as a romance. We've got all the twists and turns and feelings, but then on top of it, you've got this amazing performances, amazing songs.
Now I'm on the run with my life, waiting to take off, but
Whitney's somebody that grew up watching this movie every single Saturday for like 4 months when the film first came out. So she was somewhat obsessed with the project, and it was her absolute intention to make the movie relevant to a modern audience and something that she could proudly show her daughter.
Being born and raised in the gospel community, coming from a family of gospel singers, it was not new to me to sing gospel or to sing with a choir. It is very natural to me. In some ways more natural than popular music, because it's where I'm rooted, is where my foundation is.
why should I feel?
So it was just coming back home and doing what I do.
And why?
Whitney was singing and she was at the church. And, you know, usually when another actor is on set, you go to craft service. But the first thing I heard was this voice. And everyone was headed to craft service and they made like a U-turn. That's my favorite moment.
She brings the house down with, you know, with a very simple and beautiful gospel song that I think a lot of us have heard our whole lifetime. I certainly sing it to my sons every night.
When Jesus.
It's so poignant and needed in our everyday life, and certainly in a moment in the movie for the family in which the song is expressed. I mean, it's a performance to see, period. And of course, with her passing, it just speaks volumes.
She was obviously the soundtrack of our lives. That's a good way to put it. I mean, it wasn't a lot of people. It was, you know, Michael and Prince and Whitney and Madonna.
The sparrow.
For pop all the way to R&B, back to soul, at the origins of gospel, Whitney is creme de la creme. There's nobody greater.
He watches, thank you, Lord, over me.
We're very happy. We're very happy about how this production has gone. It's an accomplishment to be able to come back and to be welcomed with open arms.
What can I say that you can't see?
It's going to be a spectacular film, and I really hope that everybody really enjoys it. I really do.
It's Whitney's last film, and I think a lot of people are gonna go just to see that, but they're gonna walk away from it going, I cannot believe that I just saw what I saw. Like, I think people are going to be, they're gonna expect something and they're gonna get so much more out of it.
Baby, we gotta get out of here. People are trying to destroy what we built. You and me, we started this thing.
It's still, at the end of the day, a message about following your dreams, about family, the ups and downs of family, how even family can be your biggest obstacle in following your dreams. Can be also, at the same time, the inspiration to have a dream.
If you want me to go, I'll go. But I can't stop now, Mama. I'm too close.
I think it's a big deal to follow dreams and to be supportive of dreams. And also, there's a lot of love in this. There's plenty of pain, but overall, there's love, you know. There's a lot of family element to it.
I saw Larry Robinson today. He said he'd love to come and see my show, but I don't have a show. Figured out how to get one. people are going to really enjoy listening to these songs. And then when they see the routines, it'll be a little nostalgic, but at the same time, I think they're going to have a lot of girls on YouTube emulating those moves that we saw out there.
Some of the costumes are pretty outrageous. Pieces of glamour that are one-offs that you wouldn't see anywhere else.
They'll be excited about the music. They will be excited to see Whitney. They will be excited to see Jordan Sparks in this light. There's so many great performances in this film that I think that the audience is going to walk away somewhat awed by what we were able to do here.
Do you want to be a star?
Yes, I want to be a star. The thing is we love the original story of Sparkle, and the original is the original. Nothing can ever replace that. We're taking the story and kind of putting our own little spin on it. So, what do you think? I think it's a real good, feel-good movie, and everybody can go. So there are some changes, but I think you'll like them. I think they're good changes.
I always knew you had the gift. It makes me feel I've done something right. Don't lose it.
On August 17th, experience the sensation.
All I think about is music.
Girl groups are hotter than ever. I can take over.
Celebrate the legend.
It takes a lot of faith to believe in yourself.
I'm looking for a new act for my show.
Are you sure you want to do this?
And discover the musical event of this summer.
Can I make you a star?
I'm so proud of you.
Jordan Sparks, Whitney Houston.
You gotta give him something to make it feel, right?
Sparkle, rated PG-13.
Hey, what's up? I'm Jordan Sparks, and I had the great pleasure to work with Whitney Houston in the film Sparkle. You guys better go see it August 17th. I'd like to present you with 4 of my favorite songs from her legendary catalog. This is the Best of Whitney Houston video playlist. My first choice for Whitney is It's Not Right, But It's Okay. I remember seeing this video and just looking at all the dark colors, and she had that cropped hair, and she was wearing the collar on the neck, and she just looked so beautiful, and at the same time she seemed so strong, and I really, really loved that about the video. She says, it's not right, but it's okay. I'm gonna make it anyway, and I think it's a really good message.
Friday night, you and your boys went out to eat. Rather be alone than unhappy.
My name is Sticks.
Sparkle. Make you want to dance, huh?
Get it, mama.
I'm gonna get it. And you will too. Keep dancing like that, you bring home some kids you can't feed.
My mom used to sing professionally.
Maybe you be like your mama, never reach your goals. But don't fall short because you can't admit that you want it.
Was my life not enough of a cautionary tale for you?
Why would the Lord give me this gift if I wasn't supposed to use it?
It takes a lot of faith to do that, Sparkle.
My next choice is Queen of the Night. This song makes me want to get up and dance, and it makes me feel like a carefree woman. I absolutely love this song, so turn up your TVs and listen to it loud.
What can I do?
Everything I feel turns into a song.
With this feeling,
You can have a gift. It's how you use it.
hooked on your love, sweet love.
Can I make you a star?
On August 17th,
All I think about is music.
do you have what it takes
We only have one shot at this.
Better make it count.
to reach your dreams?
It takes a lot of faith to believe in yourself.
Sparkle, rated PG-13.
My next pick for Miss Whitney is How Will I Know? This song just makes me feel good. It makes me feel happy. It's early Whitney, and her voice sounds so pristine and so incredible. So please, here's a blast from the past. This is How Will I Know? Of course, no Whitney video playlist is complete without I Will Always Love You. This song has been a part of my life for pretty much as long as I have been on this earth, and It is one of the songs that I listen to now, and I always just get this feeling of gratitude and respect and love, and it's also a little bit bittersweet, but this is I Will Always Love You by the amazing Whitney Houston.
I hope life treats you kind, and I hope you have all you dreamed of.
Whitney Houston had one of the most powerful voices ever to be heard.
We'll always love you.
Most of her life was spent in the spotlight and in the headlines. Her belief was that her talent and life were God-given.
She was quick to tell you it was given to me and it belongs to him.
Her latest movie was set to be another high note for Whitney, but instead was her final curtain call.
We all tell her that we love her on the screen, and she says it back. It was really there. We really meant it.
Now we pay tribute to Whitney Houston and the sparkle she leaves behind.
It's going to be a spectacular film.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this very special look at the movie Sparkle with a tribute to its champion, its executive producer, its star, the late Whitney Houston. I'm Patrick Stinson at the Grammy Museum at LA Live, which is hosting its own tribute to Houston. We'll have more on that later, but first, this is Sparkle. At its core, Sparkle is a movie about a mother, played by Whitney Houston, who is trying to raise her 3 daughters as best she can.
I made it very simple in this house. Respect, getting an education, and having a relationship with the Lord. She is raising her daughters in a religious atmosphere back in the 60s, the late 60s.
Having a failed musical career herself, she takes her music and her daughters to church in hopes that they don't make the same mistakes she did.
She is a church-going woman. She loves the Lord. She loves singing gospel, and that is her thing, and she raises her daughters in that fashion.
But the daughters have a different idea, a girl group aptly named
Sister and Her Sisters.
She's a very ambitious, smart, focused young woman who is focused on becoming a doctor. So anything that to do with show business, or it's not really her forte, but she does sing in the choir.
You get the impression when you first meet her that she's this incredibly well put together, glamorous, self-assured woman, and in fact she's got very low self-esteem, and she's actually probably the most needy, insecure of the 3 sisters.
At the heart of these 3 ladies is baby sister Sparkle, played by the youngest American Idol winner, Jordan Sparks.
In the beginning, she's a little bit naive, a little bit shy, soft-spoken, but she really has this rambunctious attitude, but she also is really brave, and she wants to take these big steps. I know the Lord loves me, and he wouldn't torture me with something I want to do, can't help but do. So I figured
You figured I was wrong.
Sparkle might sound familiar. It's a remake of the 1976 movie of the same name.
It's a huge, beloved title, but it's a universal story about having dreams, having the courage to go after your dreams, believing in yourself enough to know that you can achieve them, and that's a universal story, and that's what you look for when you're doing a remake, or really in any story that you want to tell on screen.
The late Whitney Houston may not have lived to see her dream project come to the big screen, but that has not dimmed the light that is Sparkle. For Whitney and the filmmakers, this was a labor of love that lasted over a decade.
You and Whitney worked on this together for a long time. She was one of the executive producers.
Whitney's my friend for 12 years, and we've been producing partners. This was a 12-year journey for both of us to bring this to the screen. So she was thrilled beyond words that we'd finally done it.
Whitney used to go and see this when it first came out at the age of 13, every Saturday for months. That's why she wanted to retell it, because it had that much resonance for her as a little girl. And so I think, yeah, it was a little daunting, but I feel like we rose to the challenge.
We take the essence from the original, but it's our own flavor. You know what I mean? And I think people are going to be excited about it.
For singer-turned-actress Jordan Sparks, working on Sparkle with Whitney Houston was beyond a dream come true.
Being on set with her was completely just unexpected from what I thought it was gonna be. You know, she has this huge star power, and she could have been like, I'm just gonna do my scenes and then I'm just gonna go. But she wanted to get to know us, and she wanted us to shine, and she really did that, and she was genuine in that.
I have really come to be like their mother in a sense, you know what I'm saying? I give mom hugs on the set, you know, and they're just, I don't know, they were just perfect.
What y'all doing in there?
My babies.
I know y'all don't love each other that much.
How did you guys bond as sisters? Because you play sisters in the movie. You had to spend some time together. I imagine tequila shots. Maybe not. Maybe. I don't know. That's just me.
I think, well, we got, to spend a saturated amount of time in LA when we were doing the choreography and the studio and things like that. But I think, on set, you spend such a, like I said, saturated amount of time together. It's very up and down. I have sisters, so I know what it's like as well. And I think that's what came across on screen that people are getting, which I'm so happy, because that sisterhood is so important and prevalent to this movie.
The stars aligned on this film in every way. I mean, it might not have worked. You know, it could be that you get three girls who've never met each other before that don't really vibe, and we totally vibed in a way that feels so real on the screen. And that, I feel like, the stars aligned for this entire movie.
Okay, so we get the pictures on the ladies, but what about the fellas?
I see your beauty, and I want to be your man. This is Satin Struthers. I'm looking for a new act to open up for myself.
Now, the girls are over there talking about how the movie is an inspiration to young women and all that. What do guys take away from this movie?
What you think? Which guy?
That's a good question.
Yeah, exactly. It depends on which character they like.
What they take away from Sparkle is that maybe every man from every walk of life has a dream. You know, they want something. They're ambitious for something.
Might not forget a face, but I'll forget a name in a minute.
Talk to me about getting involved in this movie. I mean, you hear Sparkle, you hear Whitney Houston is in it and producing it, and then you get cast, and...
It's not a lot of times you get to work with legends.
That's right.
And she was a legend, she was young, and that was a blessing for me.
She was, Mike's sister.
She was cool, boy, I'm telling you.
Derek, Derek and myself, she was our auntie/sister. She was the mom to Jordan. She wore every hat.
I'm so glad that I'm cast in a movie with Whitney Houston. The script read so good. This was a character I've never got a chance to play, and I was excited to just work with such a great cast like Derek and Amari and Carmen and Jordan. Just the whole package was nice.
10 years from now, when you look back on this, what will you remember most?
I mean, Whitney's a given. I mean, that's an icon, and we've looked up to her our whole lives. But I think I feel like everybody just put their heart and soul into it. And it was such a magical experience. Sometimes on sets, most of the time on sets, you don't get that. So enjoy that while it lasted. So I'm gonna remember that magic and take that with me forever.
And just the magic of the retelling of a story that was already a classic, and that we've got to retell it at a time to a lot of young girls and women. It's just been fantastic from the start. I mean, the way I feel about it now, I'm sure I will feel 10 years from now, just very proud to have been part of this project.
It's going to be a spectacular film, and I really hope that everybody really enjoys it. I really do.
It was to be her movie comeback, not her final bow. After the break, Whitney Houston.
It was not new to me to sing gospel. It was just coming back home and doing what I do.
She was a pop superstar, but personal struggles plagued her life and her career. Sparkle was to reignite the bright light that was Whitney Houston, and thanks to the movie, she left us on a high note.
Make you want to dance, huh?
Get it, mama.
Mama gonna get it. And you will too. Keep dancing like that, you bring home some kids you can't feed.
That's Whitney Houston telling it like it is as Mama Emma in the new movie Sparkle. The movie was said to be Houston's comeback, both in front of the camera and behind the microphone.
Did she think of it that way?
It was supposed to be.
And
she hadn't done a movie since The Preacher's Wife 15 years ago that we did together. And so, yeah, this was.
Sparkle was one of those movies I think was really going to put Whitney back on the map.
This is so far removed from anything that I've seen her do before. Here, she's not playing the leading lady. She's not playing a diva. She's not playing herself. She's playing a character, and she does it well.
The pop superstar was in need of a comeback. Several years of a reported out-of-control life and damaging headlines may have ended a career that started out almost God-given.
She said, you just have to tell God about it. Because she knew everything that she had. She was quick to tell you, don't get it twisted. It doesn't come from me. It was given to me, and it belongs to him.
Being born and raised in the gospel community, coming from a family of gospel singers, it was not new to me to sing gospel or to sing with a choir. It was just coming back home and doing what I do.
Senior Billboard magazine editor Gail Mitchell recalls hearing about a young, beautiful woman with a golden voice all of those years ago.
I just remember a big buzz about a young girl singer that was just tremendous, just had tremendous pipes. Everybody would stop and listen. And then to hear the pedigree, Cissy Houston, Sweet Inspirations, and Dee Dee Warwick, and then Aretha, you know, you just sit up and take notice.
We both came of age in Newark, New Jersey. There was talk, there was buzz, that there was this voice over at New Hope Baptist Church in Newark that could sing like a songbird.
Once people got to listen to that voice, a star was born. Houston began making appearances on stage and on TV.
Wait till you hear her. Here's Whitney Houston.
But one particular appearance on the Merv Griffin Show holds a special place in her heart, as she herself tells us in her Greatest Hits DVD in 2000.
My band was like really slow in the tempo. And I never forget, my mother comes from behind the stage. If you see the tape, you'll crack up. She's behind the stage and she takes the control of the band and she starts directing the band. She's a singer, so she feels me. And she knows I'm struggling with it, and she starts doing the band. And it's the most hysterical thing you ever want to see. My mother in the background doing the band like this, and I'm singing, and it's really kind of cute. But wow, what a moment in history. I'll never forget that.
Houston would go on to have the #1 song on Billboard charts a record 13 times, win 6 Grammys, and 19 American Music Awards. Not much was left to accomplish for Whitney. This is, of course, except for the big screen.
The Bodyguard really put her on the map for so many reasons. She was great in that.
Yes, I remember being impressed by The Bodyguard. I remember, of course, her singing that song that became her signature song, you know, I Will Always Love You. That's an unforgettable piece of film.
Houston did 3 more movies to much success, and although she was busy behind the mic, it was her life in the headlines that was grabbing the attention. A combustible marriage to Bobby Brown and reported drug use led to a now infamous interview with ABC's Diane Sawyer.
First of all, let's get one thing straight. Crack is cheap. I make too much money to ever smoke crack. Let's get that straight, okay? Crack is whack.
She went on TV and did the interviews, you know, with Diane Sawyer, and I think she still has a rabid fan base, and they're always going to be there.
I don't think that we ever had the right to take away her human card. And I think that's what she was saying to us in every interview.
The legacy may have been tarnished, but now it's about to sparkle. That passion project was coming to the big screen, taking Houston into the spotlight and behind the mic. Sadly, Whitney would not live to see it through.
Attending Whitney's homegoing service, I think, really helped bring closure. It was not a mournful affair. It was a celebration. It was a tribute, so befitting her, and the joy and the hope that she stood for. We were joyous until the end, and they played her signature song, if you will. And then we all just lost it.
Next, she put the spark in Sparkle. Get to know Jordan Sparks.
I couldn't even believe it. The whole thing was just magical.
That was a look at the music video for Celebrate from the Sparkle soundtrack. I'm Patrick Stinson, and I'm no music critic, but it sounds like Celebrate is going to be a huge hit, thanks in no small part to Whitney Houston and her duet co-star Jordan Sparks. The former American Idol is about to be idolized as Sparkle hits the big screen.
For me, since it was my first acting movie experience, you know, I get to look back on it and go, the first film I ever did was Sparkle. And this whole thing was so amazing. I remember reading the script and thinking this part's gonna be so special for whoever gets it. And then I got the part and I basically was beside myself.
How important was the casting of Jordan Sparks?
Critical. The movie's called Sparkle. One of the reasons it had not been made earlier was that nobody was quite sure who was going to be Sparkle. Even though we saw many, many wonderful actresses, it was always about Jordan.
All I think about is music. Everything I see, hear, feel turns into a song, and I try to turn it off, but I can't.
These words mirror Jordan's own thinking, thanks to her father, Philippi Sparks, an NFL cornerback for the New York Football Giants. He moved his family and introduced a young Jordan to the bright lights of Broadway. But it was this moment.
The winner of American Idol is Jordan Sparks!
That put Jordan on the charts, and eventually she was on the Broadway boards with her debut in the musical In the Heights. Suddenly, she was a star, walking red carpets like Clive Davis's pre-Grammy party in 2008.
I heard that Whitney Houston was here, and I'm like, all right, okay, I'm gonna be fine. I think I'll be okay. So I'm gonna try really hard not to like fall over.
Little did this American Idol know that she would later fall into a movie role with her idol.
I listened to her and I sang her songs into a hairbrush and idolized her for sure. And then Whitney signed on to play the mother, and as a singer, I couldn't even believe it. The whole thing was just magical.
I see a lot of parallels between Jordan Sparks and Whitney Houston. Certainly that verve and that energy that they bring to everything that they do.
I mean, it was my first time on the movie, and everybody has a first time. For her, it was The Bodyguard. For me, it's Sparkle with her. So it was almost like we had that instant kinship because she knew what I was going through, me being that I was a singer first and then trying to break into this role.
For Sparks, the good reviews are already coming in.
I think the door's wide open for Jordan Sparks.
She's very strong.
This is a tour de force in the making.
I think it's a major, major film debut.
She certainly makes an impressive debut here.
And she can act.
This movie shows that.
I think we've only begun to see the amazing Jordan Sparks.
After the break, she's got the moves that Sparkle.
I would build the fanfare around her and then stand there and show her how it's going to be.
Welcome back to the Grammy Museum at LA Live for this special look at Sparkle, a tribute. Now, make no mistake about it, Sparkle isn't a musical, it's a movie with music. And where there is music, there are moves. Get ready to get your groove on in a 60s kind of way.
You know her work in commercials and music videos. So when Sparkle came up on choreographer Fatima Robinson's dance card, she had all the right moves. It was a job she feels she has prepared for all her life.
You have quite a history and a legacy in the world of choreography. Where does Sparkle rank for you as far as your career goes?
Sparkle was such a part of my life growing up that to bring it to life after watching it for so long and so many years, as you can imagine, was super exciting.
But you worked with the entire cast.
Yes.
What was that experience like? Like, who picked up things quickly? Who had to work at it a little bit harder?
You want to know the gossip?
Yeah, I want the scoop.
Everybody was really good. You know, it was new for Carmen. She had not danced like this before. Jordan can pick up choreography really quickly. She just embodied who Sparkle was, you know? She really took that character, and musically she was so wonderful. I mean, just hearing her naturally get in the room and sing was so amazing, a cappella, you know? She's a great talent.
Though her work was mainly with Sister and Her Sisters on Sparkle, Robinson and Houston go back, way back.
loved working with Whitney. I've always loved working with her. I worked on I'm Every Woman, and I've worked on her tours, and she's just lovely, lovely, lovely.
She's not really, she wasn't really known for her dancing abilities.
Dancing wasn't her thing, but I would come in and, you know, it's a lot of staging, and I would build the fanfare around her and then stand there and show her how it's going to be, and she'd be like, at the end, we'd have fun together.
After the break, things we remember most from Whitney. Welcome back to Sparkle, a tribute. And speaking of tributes, the Grammy Museum at LA Live has put together a stunning display of Whitney Houston memorabilia, and I was given an exclusive tour.
If Whitney were here today, she would say, "This is for me." And she would grab her hands and she would smile. Just smile.
It's an exhibit chock full of Whitney Houston memorabilia, not just costumes and album covers, but Whitney's personal possessions, courtesy of her family, who caused a media frenzy as they toured the show. Pat Houston is her sister-in-law and friend.
We truly hope that you enjoy this peek into a wonderful life and career of Whitney.
The Grammy Museum at LA Live is an obvious venue considering Houston's stellar career, which included 6 Grammys of her own and so much more.
A lot of people are not aware that Whitney Houston is in the Guinness Book of World Records. She is the most awarded female singer ever. Everything that she kind of touched was, you know, is popular culture gold.
The museum display cases here are overflowing with all things Whitney. There's also an interactive element. As I discovered, you can even sing along if you dare.
Oh, I want to dance with somebody.
There's nothing that will cement how horribly I sing when you sing with Whitney.
But it's fun though, right?
Absolutely.
That's what counts.
Whitney's friend and producer, Narda Michael Walden, explains this is a celebration.
As long as it's fun, you have a good time, it's just fun to kind of share the spirit.
We love you, Whitney, and thank you.
Thank you for joining us for this very special look at the movie Sparkle and our tribute to the late Whitney Houston. We have to thank the Grammy Museum at LA Live for hosting us.
It's the premiere of the movie that was supposed to relaunch Whitney Houston's career. And while Whitney's not here to enjoy it, her daughter was on the red carpet sparkling on her mother's behalf. It's Whitney Houston's beloved daughter, Bobbi Kristina, posing like a pro in her first official red carpet appearance. It was the LA premiere of Sparkle, the movie Whitney had just completed before her death last February. Bobbi Kristina was there with her boyfriend, Nick Gordon. The 19-year-old wore a clingy black bandage dress, stilettos, and her mother's diamond ring. She also showed off her new wrist tattoo, the initials WH for Whitney Houston, surrounded by doves. Before hitting the event, Bobbi Kristina tweeted, "Off to the premiere, glammed and all. Time to walk this carpet and rep mommy like she would want me to. God bless you all."
Clearly you can act, and you have this new movie, Sparkle,
Yes.
which sadly is Whitney Houston's last movie. What
Right.
was it like working with her?
It was amazing working with Miss Houston, you know, and I think this film is definitely dedicated to Miss Houston because without Miss Houston, we couldn't have made this film at all. She was the executive producer on the movie, and it was amazing to work. I'm just glad that I got a chance to meet her and work with her. She's such a great talent and such a great person. And this movie is well written and well directed and well produced. Shout out to T.D. Jakes. Devon over at Sony, Deborah Chase Martin, and I mean, this is a great movie, a family movie oriented. I'm playing a different role than Day Day, so.
That's your singing, because the Grammy Awards were the day after the death of Whitney Houston, and you did a very moving tribute to her because she was one of your idols and your icons, and you sang "I Will Always Love You." And the beautiful thing was you didn't oversing it. You sang it so simply and so beautifully. How did you make it through that? It was emotional for us to see you sing it.
That was my biggest concern when they called me to sing. I was like, I would do anything for Whitney. I just hope I can get through it. And just that moment was a moment. It was like, wow,
I can't believe I'm here. And we're all here. And it was just more of like honoring her. It wasn't a performance for me. It's not about me. It's about honoring her, remembering her, and having that moment. And I felt as though, like, at one point, I almost wanted to have everybody sing along, because you cannot tell me there was not one person at the Grammys that she did not inspire and she did not touch. So, you know.
I have to say that working with this group of people, it was really easy. We were in Detroit, and we were just all a family on the set. It was kind of like, you know, we were there to work, but we were there in camaraderie, you know. And, you know, to bring it up and mention, this movie was definitely a dedication to Miss Houston. And she was definitely the mama and the... You know what I mean? It was like she was the mama of this whole thing.
You mentioned family, and that's what I was going to say next, is that we lost like a member of our family when it came to Whitney Houston, especially in the music world. What was the chances for you guys to working with her? Any special moments on set that you guys remember? Each one of you guys could definitely take turns with this.
We off this, I mean, on the set we all had our own individual experiences, but off the set we went to football games. You know, we watched the Lions games twice, I think. Jordan made it to one. Then she was in the studio for the next, and Whitney and I trying to teach Tika what's going on. But Whitney's cheering for the wrong team at one point. I'm like, no, Whitney, this team. And so we had a lot of fun, man. She was a lot of fun. She was a lot of fun.
She was great. Any moments that stand out for you, Jordan, especially when it comes to music and singing?
I know, just the fact that she was this person that I had grown up loving and wanting to emulate every note and every run that she did, along with the other divas that I listened to. That was like amazing in and of itself. And then you see her and she's always delivered on the big screen, and she's this consummate professional and just so great. And she wanted to get to know all of us. Like, she wanted to see us shine. And that was something that I think I'll always take with me, is she was just so humble, and she really didn't forget where she came from, and she wasn't ashamed of who she was. And that was an amazing example to get from somebody that you've idolized.
Mike, I see you in deep thought. I see you with your eyes closed. I know you have something thinking in your head. Would love to know what you're thinking.
You know, it's just, you know, we just wish we could have had her here with us, you know, because, you know, she's, you know, man, she was, you know, it was just poetic and amazing how we were all got a chance to meet with her and work with her like that. And then, you know, but I know she's in a better place, and, you know, it's just, I'm just glad we got a chance to work and meet somebody like that.
I got a shout out, as Derek talked about, with Mike's performance, which is brilliant. His performance is brilliant.
All of our performance was brilliant.
There was a point when you'll see this great scene with Whitney and Mike, specifically. In general, there's other people in the scene, but it's a powerful, powerful scene. And, you know, Mike tells this great story where they just had fun in between takes. And so it was one of the days that I wasn't able to be there and watch the scene. And it's my favorite scene of the movie. And, you know, and so she is missed every single day. And I think it's a beautiful moment, you know, that we can be here at 106 and Park, and folks can see Mike in this light and realize how much Whitney's presence and the movie affected us. So it's real.
You know,
Whitney Houston busted out on the big screen nearly 20 years ago in The Bodyguard. Well, in the years since, she's gone through some very, very turbulent and very public struggles. Well, now Whitney is ready to rock again, and I'm first to take you to the set for her big screen comeback. Whitney in curlers on the couch, standing up in church singing again. The setting is 1968 Detroit, and this six-time Grammy winner has the congregation on its feet.
It's good to see that you'll be back on the big screen.
We are putting our hearts and our souls into this project.
In this film, Whitney is a caring mother to 3 daughters, including Jordan Sparks. She's trying to guide them through life.
She's very quick. She's very good. She knows her cues. She knows how to look. She knows, you know, her voice is like an angel's. I think that's going to let the world see that the American Idol that was chosen and that one is truly capable of handling it.
Tika Sumpter co-stars as another of the daughters, and fans are excited to see Whitney back in action. Just remember her role in The Preacher's Wife.
Not free.
And who could forget The Bodyguard? Sparkle came to Whitney around the time she starred in and executive produced Cinderella with Brandy.
I'm your fairy godmother, honey.
Playing a mother and daughter seems natural. Bobby Christina is 18. The American Idol winner is 21.
You know, she's got her head on straight, she's got her priorities straight. I heard her talking to her daughter, and she you know, she's comforting me, and, you know, she's dealing with all these different things, and it's really cool to see somebody who's got everything, you know, trying to balance and juggle everything, as well as wearing the executive producer hat and, you know, all those different things.
When did you guys first connect eye to eye?
That first week
I can barely remember anything.
Pre-production, and of course we don't. This is our wardrobe for the set.
Yeah.
So we didn't really look like this on that day.
No.
Okay, we had our glasses on.
I had a big sweatshirt.
We were like when our script's like going. What's the line again? I was just looking at her, and she was just so sweet and so good. I was like, all right, cool. Yeah.
To know that she was going to be playing my mom, I'm sitting there like at the table, like anxious, like, is she going to like me? Like that whole like type of, oh my gosh, I'm meeting a new person and somebody that I absolutely love.
Sparkle will shine in theaters next year, but you can catch all Whitney's classics on DVD right now.
Mark, I gotta say, everything you got with Whitney was fabulous.
Thank you so much. She is so lovely to chat with. Good to see her back on the big screen, but now I am off.
The late Whitney Houston is and should be the focus of this advanced screening of her last film, Sparkle, in downtown Manhattan at the Tribeca Grand Hotel as we speak to several of her co-stars.
This is Whitney Houston's last role, and it's a very different role for her. How do you think it'll surprise her fans?
Wow, I mean, I think it won't be a surprise in the sense that she's as great as she's always been on screen. She's never disappointed audiences when she's been on the big screen. I think it'll surprise people in that, you know, she had come into her own as a mother in real life, and she brings a lot of that energy.
This performance is her last performance, last fond memory that everybody's going to have of her. She did such a great job. This was her comeback movie, so.
It's her best performance ever. And even though she was not able to see the movie, she knew it. We talked about it, you know, during the course of the movie. She just was in a very good place.
She looks amazing. She gained weight. She looks healthy. She's happy. She's strong. You know, and I just think, I think this being her last film, I think she just left a great gift for everybody just to say goodbye.
For her fans, for people that love her, the non-critical people, you'll get to see her at her best.
Today, when audiences think 1960s, they think Mad Men.
Yes.
But Mad Men is a very specific viewpoint of the 1960s.
Yes.
What does Sparkle highlight that Mad Men doesn't?
Great question. First and foremost, the African American culture. You know, even though that might sound cliche, it's the obvious piece of material or content missing from a show like Mad Men. The music.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the Motown, Berry Gordy, his aura is all through this movie.
The moment that we sort of focus in the movie is when civil rights were really happening, women's rights were really happening, and one of the other sisters, Dee, really kind of takes that route.
Oh, that's
and
great.
my character just doesn't quite get it, and
Yeah.
so she ends up in toxic relationships, and you know, it gets very complicated for her very quickly.
I think the interesting thing about Sparkle is it's both an inspirational tale and it's a cautionary tale.
Yeah.
About, you know, you make some choices, you go down some paths, and you could derail your life forever.
It's just one of those businesses that you're going to get judged in, you know. It's like this is a business that people judge you off your performances. It's a microscope on everything you do, so it just comes with the game.
I feel like my story is kind of like Sparkle's story in a way.
Yeah? You had your highs and lows?
Of course. I think anybody does. Sometimes you think, am I good enough to be the star? You know, in the beginning, Sparkle's not necessarily good enough. You know, that journey of her becoming Sparkle had to happen in order for her to be Sparkle.
What have your own experiences been like with the Fame monster?
You know, fame is something else. You know, I've experienced new friends, old friends,
But it's been all fun, you know. It's all been beautiful. I'm just glad I'm in a position to have a fan.
I was in Chicago maybe 2 weeks ago, and I was walking on the pier, the Navy Pier, and this young girl and her mother, who was just as overzealous as her, she was trying to steal a picture, but inappropriately. And I'm with my family and just enjoying myself, and it's happened a lot, and I'm very humbled that, of course, we have fans, but she was just trying too hard. And maybe 15 minutes later, I go to the bathroom, and there's a young teenager in the bathroom, and he comes up to me at the sink. I'm washing my hands, and he goes, "Man, how is it dealing with the ups and downs of fame?" He had no idea of the prior situation that had just happened. So I thought that was a moment, you know. That was a moment of the same thing happening in the same 15 minutes, you know.
A respectful fan and an
respectful
unrespectful,
and a disrespectful fan.
That's
right.
interesting.
It's good to see that you'll be back on the big screen.
We are putting our hearts and our souls into this project. And as it progresses, it's bigger than we thought, just from what we're experiencing as a vibe, as a feeling, than we even expected.
Why should my heart feel lonely?
Was there an excitement, a sort of adrenaline to go, I'm ready to come back and do this?
I got a call from my partner, Deborah Martin, and she said, "You're not going to believe this, but Sparkle's been picked up and they want to do a film. They want to do this film." And I was like, "You're kidding." After all this, it's 13 years later. I said, "Are you serious?" She was like, "They want to do this film and they want Akil and Mara to do it, and you know, they are so serious." I'm like, "Wow, are you serious, for real?" She said, yeah. And the process began. And for me, it was just like, okay, well, you know, what do I have to do?
What sparkles about Jordan in this?
What sparkles about Jordan Sparks?
Yeah.
That's
my last name.
Yes.
Yes. I think she speaks for herself. I think the face, the smile, the innocence, but the love for music, the love for singing, her personality, just being Jordan, and transferring that to Sparkle. It was not a hard transition, because Sparkle is willing to learn and willing to know, as she is now.
When did you guys first connect eye to eye?
That first week
can barely remember
of pre-production, and
Of
course we don't. This is our wardrobe for the set.
Yeah.
So we didn't really look like this on that
Oh, no.
day. Okay, we had our glasses on.
I had a big sweatshirt
We were
on.
like, when our scripts like going, what's the line again? You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, but it was a moment of where we kind of like bonded, and I was just looking at her, and she was just so sweet. And so good. I was like, all right, cool. Yeah. Yeah. And then I think our first time, what was our first one? With the dressing. I was so into it. I said, in one of the when we were filming, in one of the scenes, I said, "Jordan, Sparkle." You know.
She said my name. I was like, what?
We're going off script now, aren't we?
Yeah,
It was so funny.
we were so into it though. But it was our bond. It was our bonding time.
I see a lot of parallels between me and her, just growing up in the church, and then I was singing church a lot. I sang in school, and then all of a sudden this one thing changed my life, and so there's a couple different things like that. So I'm sitting here going, I listened to her, and I watched her, and I saw all this stuff, and for her to be standing here and just telling me different things, I definitely want to take it to heart, because she's been through so much, highs, lows, ups, downs, successes, different things like that, and it's just so amazing to stand here and sit here and be like, and she's still doing it. She's still doing it, and she's still, she's got her head on straight. She's got her priorities straight. I heard her talking to her daughter, and she's comforting me, and she's dealing with all these different things, and it's really cool to see somebody who's got everything, trying to balance and juggle everything, as well as wearing the executive producer hat and all those different things. It's phenomenal.
And I must say, it's good to see that you'll be back on the big screen. It's been a while.
Thank you. That's
It really
very
is.